folks are born, made to wave the flag. Ooh, the red, white, and green. And when the band plays Kaiser hymn, ooh, they draft you for the war machine. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't Prince Ferdinand's son. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no aristocratic one, no.
Howdy there, folks, and Text of the Black Pants Legion here, and guess what? We're back in Austro-Hungarian land, which, as you can see, is a very wide empire now. I know this is so stupid. I don't think in their manifest destiny they ever thought that this would happen. That being said, I can only imagine the rail line. I'm sure that they would bring all sorts of weird class to this. It says I need a lot of turns in order to conquer China. We're gonna try. We're definitely gonna try. I haven't played this in a bit, so I know that we have some battle cruisers that are being built. I know we had built the Wide Tom, which is hilarious. We have a destroyer fleet, which is nice. It's not the greatest in the world, but it's nice. I also know we have the Franz Ferdinand class battleship, and we have a lot of other boats. The battle cruisers are all let's see right now. Wide Tom's going to take a while to make. And I'm keeping the Habsburg, of course. I'm probably going to retire the Ersatzes when I can, or replace them with successor design battleships. But as you can see, things are pretty much okay if you try not to look too close. If I actually put my budget up, you'll see how absolutely perilous things are, which they are indeed perilous. We are very behind on technology. Our shipyards are fucked, and we are training people not at all. So we are in trouble, and every which way we can be in trouble, and that's fine, because I'm going to slowly try to ratchet things and correct our financial standings. I have built us into a corner, which is not a good place to be, but that's okay. That's more than okay. All we have to do is realize that we've made some boo-boos, and by boo-boos, I mean certainly avoidable problems that I created. I'm just going to slowly increase things to where they need to be, and hopefully build a navy that's not embarrassing. This is still a very small naval pool, so that hasn't expanded despite all of my conquests, even though, well, I mean, yeah. I just have to try to fix our naval budget as time goes on. I don't think things are going to be great. I'm going to tell the Italians to fuck off, as you do. I'm going to say, Italy, go away. I know your weakness. Your weakness is ever trusting me as Admiral. So, yeah. I'm not sure what the Austro-Hungarians are going to do, but we have certainly given a black eye to everybody. Germany has gotten really interesting. They're starting to expand into northern China. Germany's fighting a crazy fight in here with Italy and France and everyone else. France is probably going to be my next greatest belligerent, so I don't know how that's going to play out. I do know that it's probably not going to be great. I think that you're going to run into a lot of issues with France. Because France is big, and they have a very large economy, and they've spent a lot of money on stuff, whereas I've spent a lot of money on lies. Mainly, I've built a bunch of boats that shouldn't be. I'm going to keep ratcheting my budget up as best I can and hope the economy joins modernity. The Habsburg's going to stay where it is. I've got all my destroyers out there. It's certainly not a lot of destroyers, but it's good enough. It's good enough. I have the two Franz Ferdinands in Odessa, just in case. Just in case. I know I could bring those over to China. You know what? I probably will. All right, let's go ahead and bring those guys over to China. It will probably take them a few turns to get here, but that's fine. Let's see. 5 turns, eh? Will that be enough time? Barely. Maybe. I'm hoping to actually land enough of this so that I can actually conquer some of China. That would be kind of neat. But it looks like there's a land battle going on to wrest control of China away from them. I think that if I could get this, I could gain access to these ports. That would be really nice. I would have a better harborage for my big boy boats out in the Pacific, which is ideal. However, England is trying to push in on land, and that is going to be interesting. I have 16 battle cruisers, which is cool. And then the Wide Tom should actually be a terrifying naval instrument as soon as I get there. I'm going to hold off on building more shipyards for the moment, mainly because of how expensive things are. My monthly balance is slowly correcting, but it is perilously slow, so I'm going to have to throttle back down on R&D for a time, which is going to be problematic, to say the least. That is definitely going to be a problem. That is the way things are, though. All right, so the Austro-Hungarian Empire has lasted until August of 28. I have managed to achieve the madness. I'm not sure if it'll last much longer, though. This is an empire that's made out of, popsicle sticks. This is definitely the last thing I think that Austro-Hungary needed. Is the dual crown, was more languages and cultures to fall under the Habsburg rule. I think that this thing would have collapsed like a sculpture made of sugar under a fire hose. I do not think this would have gone well. I think this would have gone in the worst way possible, to be honest. Let's be honest here. This thing is going to be a disaster with a capital D. I also wonder what the other nations are going to do, because while I do have a large empire, I very much doubt my ability to hold on to it. There is that whole thing in Civ of building tall versus building wide. This is definitely wide. Building tall is a better idea. During a naval exercise of our fleet, a small cruise ship from the Spanish Empire. Oh man, that sucks for them. I'm not going to say a goddamn thing. I'm just going to be like, uh-huh. They're going to say, you sank our boats. And I'll be like, that sucks. Oh man, England took it. God damn it, England. What a weird conquest, but god damn it. You guys, you sons of bitches. All right, let's just move our battle cruisers back to fucking port. Motherfuckers. Alright, I'll put you guys in Manila. Just dock back up. No, we gotta go back because England had to take everything. Just like the Royal Navy does. Actually, there was their land forces that did it. And they did it in an overland campaign through central China, which means they came through Burma and Tibet, which is insane. Eastern India broke off, which then became its own republic. So this has got some Hearts of Iron vibes going for me right now. It's about every time I try to play as India, I end up with something even worse than like nuclear Gandhi. Why did my balance go up? Are my fleets that fucked? All right, look, here's what we're gonna do. Sea control? No. No, I don't think we're gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna instead go through all this and we're gonna be like, hey, don't leave the port. Look at all the money we're making now. Look at all the money we're losing now. Shit, it's all right. We're just gonna build even bigger ports, even though I said I wouldn't. We're gonna need that capacity as we slowly get through things. Now, if we look at the oldest ships we have, the Franz Ferdinand class battleships are the oldest things we have. So they're probably going to get retired next because the battlecruiser fleet is out. I'm going to keep the original Habsburg battleship, and they will be supplanted by the White Tom, which has just now entered service. I will also need to overhaul these battlecruisers and probably replace these destroyers wholesale. Oh yeah, excellent. More superimposed large guns, all sorts of conquests going on. Looks like Manchuria is having a bit of a meltdown there. That's okay. That's none of my business. That's what I'm going to say. So here's what we're going to do. The Franz Ferdinand I'm going to get rid of because I only have 2 of them, and they're not that important. And the Ersatz 2 as a battlecruiser design will serve until the Wide Tom enters service. As soon as my battleships are back at harbor, I should be able to get rid of them and slowly fill out the rest of the fleet. I will design a new destroyer for the Mediterranean because that's going to be necessary. I'm going to need something faster and nastier. Also, it looks like Germany had a revolution, so that's interesting. I mean, that's wild, but yeah. I'm going to replace those 2 battleships with a handful of destroyers, and we'll see how it is. What's Germany now? Oh, all right. Looks like they are modern Germany now. So modern Germany in 28. They've just bypassed Reich and Weimar and everything else. And they're like, you know what? We're going to do this democracy thing. And I'm going to say, good luck. All right. So these things, I'm going to scrap them. Once I scrap them, look, monthly balance is through the roof. We make our tech budget very big tech budget. And then we're going to build a new type of destroyer. Now, I have all of these battle cruisers, which I'm going to keep because they're cool. I'm going to get rid of the Franz Ferdinand class. Again, the Habsburg. Oh, man, that thing has been around a while, and I'm not getting rid of it. It needs a new upgrade. It's going to be like, please let me die. No. All right, let's get on it. Oh, it says it's overweight. That's insane. I don't believe in that at all. What made it overweight? Defects, I'm willing to bet. Natural draft boilers helped get it back underweight again. I've converted it to semi-oil, as you may remember, which some of you are screaming at, saying that is just a waste of technology, and I agree, it is. So we're going to, incendiary. Yep, we're going to do that, and okay, this ship is doing really well. The ship is doing really well. By really well, I mean in defiance of God and good reason. Now, we're going to make the interdeck, almost. Oh, what a monster. What a good boy. All right, Habsburg is being redefined yet again. I went down in tech on the boiler drafting and all that, just to save some weight. I will convert this to diesel. They will either sink it or I will make this thing run on diesel or gas turbines. My main objective in this is to see how long I can keep this ancient boat in service. And yes, I will use it in a war. I'm pretty sure it will take 1 torpedo and explode for 20 minutes. I don't care. Proceed. People are going to be screaming in the comments, but that's okay because I won't read them. Okay, Ersatz 2, I can't build anymore because I nuked the original design, but that's okay. That's more than okay. We're going to just refit this battleship, and we're going to add even more armor to it. We're going to make it impervious. I'm also trying to go through my tech madness and slowly restore our technology deficit. Focusing in on technologies in this game does make the rest of your technologies become generally far behind. And you can laugh in anyone's face because you go, hey, guess what? That doesn't fucking matter. I have more technologies. And people go, that's not true. And you're like, yes, but this torpedo does 20 clicks. I don't care that I run on coal and have single expansion steam engines. Doesn't matter. Okay, Germany and the U.S. are fighting. That's good for them. I don't care. France is doing colonial stuff. Good for them. I don't care. None of my business. If you want to know, by the way, if you want to do some reading on the early era of stuff, I definitely recommend Castles of Steel and Dreadnought. Both really good books. Very good. And they give a lot of decent history. You realize very quickly, if you have no experience with history of this era, that a lot of the presented history of this era is very paper thin. People concentrate on just the ship, just the gun, just the battle. And then you look at the diplomatic and political history of all this behind the scenes, and you realize, shit, this is a very complex era filled with a lot of assholes. And yeah, it is. Okay, Spalato looks like I could fill that with destroyers, I bet. but I would rather put them in Odessa because that way I can hide them and then split them up. So, going to build an Odessa destroyer fleet and a Spalato fleet. That's what I'm going to do. So let's design a new ship. So I can build modern battleships, which is fun, but I won't be doing that because that sounds expensive. So instead, let's get into modern destroyer parentheses standard as opposed to modern destroyer parentheses stupid. I'm going to call you, yes, Schuttenboten, which is not German or any other language, but it makes me smile, so that's its name now. Schuttenboten. In the same vein as Exporto. Alright, so this thing looks decidedly very modern. It's got fun things going on in the deck. I would love to put that smunk stack back there, but it's not going to let me. And that's okay. That is more than okay. So we're going to put 5-inch gun on the front, and we're going to put one in the middle, and we're going to put one on the back. And so it has multiple 5-inch guns now. However, it's going to have the torps. The sweet, sweet torps. This is a lot of torpedoes. I could put more, but what I need to do instead is make it fast as fuck. 35 knots is really good for this time period. This is going to be a very expensive destroyer for the era, but I don't care. This is going to be really cool. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, yep. We're gonna put into really good steering so you can move away from torpedoes, even though that costs a lot of stuff. Has reinforced bulkheads and all that shit, so it's going to be good. It's going to be really hard to kill. It's going to have depth charges and all this. The reason I feel I need a bigger destroyer for this time period is largely because of the uptick in likelihood of submarine. This is going to be likely submarine territory very soon, and I want to make absolutely dead sure that I have some anti-submarine capabilities. Maybe not all of them, but some. All right, see, 1 inch, all right, good enough. Definitely good enough. I'll put the rest in the no, that's as good as I can put the conning tower. Okay, foredeck, aft deck, good. Okay. Secondary tower is needed, but I don't want to. All right. What if I just put you there? Is that good enough? No? It's like, it... Alright, look, there we go. Good enough. I'm just going to put some foredeck and aft deck armor in there, and this is pretty well armored for a destroyer. It's got really good engine efficiency, finally getting that pitch and everything down, but check this out. These torps are going to be a monstrous amount of firepower for this era, because that's really decent. I mean, consider we're in the late 20s. This thing would eat a Clemson's lunch. And Schuttenboten is complete. Now we need to put Schuttenboten into the water for fightin' poopin', and yeah. If you try to make up German words that sound German to a American or British person's ear, and Germans hear you say it, they will think that you're making fun of them, and they're right. You know, it's like Irgesplitten Laudenboomer. Okay, so Schuttenboten is very expensive, as you can see. It's almost as expensive as our 1890s battleships. It is 3 of these are almost as expensive as the battle cruiser. Technology is a motherfucker when it comes down to cost. And that's fine. These are getting into very complex ships. So I'm going to build 10 of these, and I'm going to put them in Odessa. And as you can see, very expensive. As we start to get into more modern ships, it's going to get very expensive to operate them. So your Navy is going to kind of shrink by need and necessity as you get these really complex vessels. Also, you need to adopt a far less attritionable point of view when it comes down to deployment of vessels. You're going to find out that you can't just use stuff like a napkin. 11,500 tons displacement for a cruiser. Composite propellants, all sorts of neat things. I'm going to probably have to unfuck my finances here shortly, but that's okay. I need to build my transport fleet back up. And yeah, it's going to take 7 months, plus the wide toms are being built, which is fine. I'm going to take my teens era destroyer fleet, and I'm going to remove them. All the teens era destroyers are going to go away. There we go. So I know that that's not a lot of money I just saved, but I'm going to slowly replace them with these much nicer destroyers that have much nicer torpedoes, so I can engage people at much longer range and do more damage. Now, as I said, as destroyers become certainly more complex, if you look at World War II destroyers compared to World War I destroyers, you'll notice they're a lot bigger, mostly, not all of them. But you'll also notice their crew complements start getting really quite serious. So you cannot use these things as attritionable assets as you could the torpedo boats. That being said, you can certainly do a lot more damage. Okay, it looks like everyone is fighting each other. Everybody's doing their things. I'm staying out of war because, you know, it's bad for business, and the Habsburgs have enough problems without conflict. As soon as these new boats are done, I will overhaul the battlecruiser fleet. Now, I know that the whole battlecruiser fleet is hanging out and is doing whatever it does out in the Pacific. Its job is more or less to keep the Japanese in check. However, if I need a war, I might just activate them anyways. And, oh, Netherlands wants some shooting boating. See, now we're going to make some money. And we have more than enough shipbuilding capacity, thanks to my stubborn requirements on expanding my shipbuilding. I'm very stubborn in that. I'm like, more boat. I just sit back in my high chair and then pound my fists on the table like a toddler. A petulant child wishes more boat. More boat, not less boat. More boat! We got it to April of 29, so I did better than the Habsburgs did. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Seems like Italy wants a peace. Okay. I mean, that's a take. You sure you want a peace, Italy? Because I could use more Habsburg land. I could just take all of this stuff. I mean, I have a navy that can do it. Some of my boats are a little older, but I have a battleship that's from the 1890s that would probably terrify them, so that would be fun. Imagine seeing some tumble home. Just imagine seeing some ancient ocean liner of a boat, a Gen 1 battleship. Well, I shouldn't say Gen 1 battleship, because technically your first steam screw triple deckers that come out of the 1850s would qualify on that basis. But you know what I mean. Now, I did have someone ask me when was the last time the Royal Navy went out Nelsonian style and had themselves a big old fight, and it's 1827. That is the last time you see sail and sail and shot fighting in the Nelsonian style in battle formation. And after that, it becomes this whole Pax Britannia and splendid isolation of the Royal Navy, where they just turn into a police force. And a lot of the Royal Navy gets laid up in ordinary. Because after the threat of Napoleon passes, like most navies, they just lay them up. They're just like, well, mothball all the ships, lay them up, take the crews off them, and leave them be. Most of the Navy between the wars, even the Royal Navy, is as big and as powerful as it was, just gets absolutely diminished in between conflict because it's expensive. Now, it seems that my opponents are trying to build more boat, which is an interesting idea. I don't care because I am the Habsburgs and I'm ridiculous, and that's what I do. It looks like in 3 months my 10 shooting boaten will be ready. Then I need to overhaul the battlecruiser fleet, which I may need to bring into Europe to make them actually able to do that in a cost-effective manner. because I'm sure I will just absolutely overwhelm the port over in the Eastern Sphere. That's why I'd hoped to take the Chinese ports for myself. I'd hoped for them, but it looks like I will not get them. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So yeah, if you go over here, you'll find that, yes, these things are absolutely overwhelming the ports. So I'm going to take half of them, and I'm going to put them in Spalato. And I'm going to go bankrupt in very few turns as that happens. It seems like I'm going to go bankrupt as fuck. I am going to have a very, very, very fun time very shortly, economically speaking. And that's fine. As soon as these battleships and destroyers are done, I can do a bit more of a correction of our finances. I have to catch up on a lot of the research that I've neglected. I mean, my men are probably still making do with very, very rudimentary things. Oh, Britain and Italy are fighting. That seems fun. And Britain and the U.S. are fighting each other. I'm just sitting back eating my popcorn because I'm Italy, and that's what we do. I'm going to take this down to 69%. Nice. And I'm going to hopefully get my boys in port here. And yes, we just finished our destroyers. Excellent. All right, so let's see. Germany's Admiralty, I'm going to just say, never heard of him. I don't know. They have an admiral of their navy? That's news to me. I did not know they had an admiral. Of a navy in the water? A water navy? I don't know. That sounds a little weird. But yeah, the shooting boatin is done and is commissioning right now. And as soon as they are all commissioned, yep, there we go. Our monthly balance is shrunk, and as soon as these guys pull into port, it'll be cheap. And we're laying down the new wide tom battleships, which means as soon as they're done, I'm going to have to build 2 more of the next larger size of battleship, probably. Though the wide toms are terrifying, they will probably need to be refit almost as soon as they're launched, because I have bigger guns with more things on them, and that's going to go a long way. A very long way, in fact. Should be good. France is building more battleships, which is not good. I'm just staying out of it. I'm just going to say not for me. No, thank you. Roll, let's see, shooting boatin'. You know, I'm going to do this. We're going to do limited. Excellent. Shooting boatin' is fine. And then 10 months until the wide tom is done. Now, these things are 80,000 tons. These are enormous, enormous ships. I mean, this is where we start to get into crazy World War II size modern battleships that are just big fleet operations boats. Are they dumb for something like the Austro-Hungarian Empire? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I'm doing it. I think that something like the Iowa class, something like the Amato, it adds a certain amount of madness to a building plan, and that's why you need to do things like that. If you're going to be an autocratic empire, you need stupid. You have to have it. You have to. You can't not have it. You need these things. These things will make you last forever, at least as a meme. People say, remember that time the Habsburgs built those giant fucking battleships? Yeah, that's what you do. When you have all the money and gold and loot, you need to spend it well. Now, France is invading southern Germany, which is interesting. I'm not sure who's going to win that, but France has been doing really well on the continent of Africa down here, which is kind of true to what they wanted. There was a really interesting dust-up before World War I with the Moroccan issues. And you'll find that Germany pursued this thing called the open door policy, especially when it comes down to colonialization. And there's a lot of fun moments where World War I could have kicked off far earlier. But now we have German Morocco, which I could have actually seen. especially knowing the history of how all that was balanced. It was not very balanced. Okay, my navy is almost home, which means I can then begin the refits that bankrupt us all. Splendid, splendid, splendid. I will begin the refits. 35 million. See, text can count. Text can count. Ah, yes, I will build more Shootenboten. See, I'm building them for other navies. Other navies like the Shootenboten. They go, ah, das ist gut. All right. Now, looking at the Shootenboten, because you look at the ersatz too, these have really small crews for what they are. And that's fine, because they are a micro, fast response battle cruiser, really. But if you look at Shootenboten, 182 crew. Remember when we started, my torpedo boot crew was like 12 guys. So yeah, this is definitely an interesting time. All right, let's move our money back up there. Oh, that's not so good. All right, let's move that to like 80%. Okay, good enough. And as soon as our, yeah, okay, I'm gonna move this guy down here. All right, and then I move, okay, we're getting there. So I need to come up with a refit for the old Habsburg here. I'm hoping to get my next range of rangefinders. Yes, excellent. Once I get my next range of rangefinders, I will upgrade the battlecruiser fleet. These rangefinders and the Krupp armor are going to be my next litmus test to upgrade, because that will save everything. By that I mean it will make it more expensive and probably bankrupt me, but it will actually save weight, which means I can put more armor on. I'm just going to make these things Tillman designs, and those of you out there who know naval architecture are just probably open mouth screaming right now. Don't worry about it, it'll be okay. All right, boiler efficiency upgrade 3. Okay, plus 5 funnel capacity. Advanced mines, that's nice, that's nice. Yep, they're just gonna fight each other. I'm gonna continue my era of splendid isolation. I'm going to be like, I don't need anybody in my business. And let's see, research-wise, we are getting into the better rangefinders and then the armor quality, which is splendid. See, my monthly balance is starting to really take off. As it turns out, prolonged peace is pretty good for expansion of economic policy. That, and I'm starting to sell ships that I have designed and sold. I will probably make some sort of export fodder, like a small cruiser or maybe a heavy cruiser of limited proportion that I can then mass produce should I go to war, if I can build them in time. We'll see. Light cruisers can be really nasty, but in this game, I would say you need to wait until the 20s to really start using lots and lots of light cruisers, and same with heavy cruisers, because they become a very strange boat. Light cruisers are still very effective, though, in this game. If you start in 1890 and play with light cruisers, cover them with small caliber guns and just saturate targets. You use them as just big bully boats, and they work really fine for it, especially versus a fleet of crap tons of little ships. If someone has a lot of little torpedo boats and you have a light cruiser that is just covered with nothing but 2 and 3 inch guns, you win. They lose. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, so now that I've got this done, it'll be armor quality. And once I got that Krupp armor quality done, I should be able to just absolutely wreck people. Now, it says I'm very behind on technology, but I have a feeling I will catch up, no problem. Soon as I get my 2 battleships done, I can then start overhauling the fleet, and I will probably need to build more of these little destroyers, and I will put some over in Manila. I have no doubt that these things will be lost in an actual war. They are not that impervious to damage. They're quite fast, they're quite well made, they're very survivable. But all it takes is one good hit to burst them open, like dropping an anvil on a watermelon. Fire control tables. Excellent. The Italian Empire is trying to take the Middle East. Interesting. Interesting. All right, let's get into shooting boating, and we're going to build 10 of these, and I'm going to put these in Manila because that's where they need to be. And I'm going to put all of these guys in Manila because, yes, these are going to work with my other 8 battle cruisers that are over there as kind of a rapid response fleet. And then I'm going to build the rest of them over in Cartagena. I think that's where those need to be. So let's go ahead and build 10 more of these in Cartagena. There we go. And shooting boating. There we go. And I will put them in Cartagena. Cartagena. There we go. Northern Colombia. Yep. Okay. So I'm building a reasonable sized fleet, and they should all be done in 8 months. In that amount of time, the Wide Tom will be done. And once those are done, you're going to see this monthly balance just flip over and probably come out pretty well. I'm going to probably try to build another 10 of the light destroyers and put them in my holdings up here, so I can have 2 destroyer squadrons for the Mediterranean, 1 for the Pacific and 1 for the Caribbean. And that way I can kind of defend all of my territorial holdings, at least with something that can cause massive amounts of casualties before we get into trouble. Oh, yeah, shooting boating. Gonna sell those to foreign navies because everyone likes shooting boating. Shooting boating is cool. But yeah, ideally I'm gonna have 50 destroyers and then just a handful of battleships. And that battlecruiser fleet that I built that almost bankrupted us turned out to be a really good investment, and I need to upgrade those now. They are in dire need of upgrading. Ah, yes, more quality control. Excellent. Always a good idea. The U.S. keeps trying to be mean. They keep trying to say stuff like, you're a bunch of fucking idiots. And I agree, but that's fine. Yeah, building those 2 battleships was like 30, 40 million a turn. Now that that's off my list, I can build yet another set of shooting boating. And, oh, let's see. Do I need more budget? Yeah, I'm going to say just put it into the GDP. I don't care. The point of my navy is to make money for this Austro-Hungarian Empire so that it lasts forever. Yes, let's see. Shooting boating. I'm going to take these. In 4 months, these boats will be commissioned. Excellent. Excellent. There. I'm going to put these guys in. Let's see. Where in the fuck should I put them? You know what? No, I'm not going to build those. Not yet. Not yet. I instead am going to now overhaul the battlecruiser fleet. Soon as my guys have finished with these destroyers, it'll be time for battlecruiser overhaul. And then probably yet another overhaul for the Habsburg class. Because, you know, why not? There's fun to be had. I will probably also try to build a cheaper battleship to start supplementing my fleet. By cheaper, I mean smaller, not necessarily actually cheaper. Cheaper in material, yes. Cheaper in design, no. Classy is the way to do these things. That and building Panzerschiff in larger sizes is just kind of cursed and funny, and that will make people mad. But it's funny, so that means I should do it. It's like, Tex, you can't do this. Watch me. It will be done. Shootin' boatin'. Ah. Well, I mean, I'm just surprised that I managed to make it to 1930. Man, everyone wants to buy shootin' boatin'. That's good for me. It's not good for world peace, but it is good for me. What? Build bigger shipyards? Why, yes. Yes, I will. I will need it to overhaul the battlecruiser fleet. I will badly need it. More shooting boating? Yes, yes, I will. Yes, yes, indeed. Indeed, yes. Quite, yes, indeed. 1 month until Wide Tom and Friends are done. And then I need to put those unlimited so they don't bankrupt the Navy immediately as soon as they hit the water. Then again, I think everyone in the Mediterranean is going to know I launched these things, because as soon as these roll off the slipway, the water in all of their docks is going to go up. They're just going to be like, what happened? The water has been displaced another foot. Did someone just build something huge? And I'll be like, no. Like, what you got there, Austria-Hungary? And I'm like, a boba tea? Look, I'm not saying I'm a bastard in this time period, but what I am is an enterprising gentleman, and I'm going to do my best to continue to be that. America's building Tillman-class ships. I saw that over here. I saw it. I know what they're doing. It will not be enough. Probably because they won't be able to finish them in time, but all right. So I've got these guys. These guys are going to have to sit as a fleet in being. There's no way that I can man and run these things. And in 1 month, all the shooting Bodens will be done. So watch, it'll roll over, and there we go. Now that minus 70 is from the boats I'm building now, but soon I can just begin doing my overhauls, which will be nice. What we need is a proper war. Okay, in 1 month, my shooting Bodens will be done. And there we go. They are all done and everything. I'll put them in limited. We'll have even more money, and then I can overhaul the battlecruiser fleet. And hopefully it won't take forever. It's going to take forever. But I will have my destroyer fleet in the interim to run interference. Probably not forever. And sadly, that can be a limitation. If you find yourself in a position where you're rapidly trying to rearm your fleets and handle things, it's a bit like the Japanese trying to change the plane loadout during Midway from anti-shore weapons to anti-boat weapons, and, you know, running around in that, because that little bit of delay can cost you everything. You have to have some sort of plan to make your ships go in and out of operation fairly quickly. All right, advanced propeller ships, 15-inch guns, blah, 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 blah. All right, so what we need to do is we're going to get into this whole fleet and Bing nonsense. That's too expensive. That is way too expensive. Who can afford that? Shooting Boating is very expensive, so we're just going to go ahead and do that and be like, no, no, sir. Now, we have the plus monies, which is good, and our transport capacity is decent, which is good. Now we need to overhaul the battlecruisers, because these things are only 4 years old at this point, but they're quite archaic already. These things are ancient now. Technology has made these things crap. So what I have to do is I have to slowly peel them apart and then go, okay, what can I put on this son of a bitch? Because they do 30 knots. That's amazing. I'm going to put some better engines on them and some other stuff, and don't worry about that. Corrupt 5 armor, right? And then we put in the better range finders. We got the good, all right, yes. Better this, better that, better sonar. Radio direction finders, very important. Centerline guns, we now have triple 16-inch gun turrets, right? They won't fit. And that's fine. That's fine. These are battle cruisers, so we're going to do triple 12s. There we go. And there we go. Now, it says it's overweight. So what if we do the German argument when it comes down to battle cruisers and we just do 9-inch guns? We do triple 9-inch mounts. There we go. Now, it's still a little overweight, which is fine, because I'm going to take one of these triple gun houses off. And people will say, but Tex, that seems really not good. And I'll be like, yeah, that's because I'm going to do this. And people are going to say, Tex, that's evil. And I'm like, yes, it is. So that's what we do now. We're the bad guys. Okay, upgraded. Excellent. Battlecruiser fleet upgraded. Yes, it is. All right, so save design. These things are not designed literally to fight other battleships, but rather to cause incredible amounts of damage versus them. Now, are these the biggest torpedoes, the latest torpedoes, the bestest torpedoes? No. Are they a lot of torpedoes? Yes. The idea is if I can get into a fight with the enemy and then cripple most of their ships, If I can cause damage to most of them, the battlecruiser fleet has served its purpose. The objective is to use it in a raiding scenario, but also just basically like a big destroyer. It is my rapid response fleet. So I'm going to delete you, and then I'm going to replace you. All right, so we're going to do 4 at a time, 4 months, and okay, I could probably do another 4. Refit, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And yep, okay, that is going to be expensive, but I can refit 8 of them at a time, which means I can do the whole fleet fairly quickly, and that'll make this decent. I will make this reasonably decent. I'm also going to overhaul the Habsburg again. Some people are just howling with indignation. Why? Don't worry about it. Why are you so worried about what hasn't happened yet? It's going to happen. You should make your peace with it. You should be accepting of the fact that this wonderful ship as a museum is lasting so long, and is, of course, a beacon to our people of the everlasting love of the Habsburg Empire. And naturally, the Habsburg needs another refit. Now, I know many of you are going to say, I could think of many things I would do to this boat, and refit is not among them, and that's okay, because I'm the Admiral. So, I am the ultimate Admiral. Now, I'm going to give this thing triple gun turrets, because that's fun. It's finally moved up in the world. Oh man, look at how modern it is now. All right, can I put modern funnels on here? No. Damn. I think that would be neat. All right, can I put some... I could put some underwater torpedo tubes on this that were absolutely heinous. Yeah, let's do that. And let's see, 22-inch torpedoes? Fuck yeah. That sounds awesome. So, right, here's our guy, the Habsburg. The Habsburg rides again. Yep, and she's getting more modern. I'm so help me God, if I last long enough, I will put radar on this. If I can get gas or diesel turbines or Kodad Kodog, I'm going to definitely see if I can't get this thing up to like 38 knots. I think that would be absolutely just a dab on the enemy. They would see this coming and just go, fuck it. Fuck it. Oh, here we go. Time to refit it. Yep, I said it's going to take 4 months. It's because it's such an inspiration, to our men. You know what? Let's look at our... Yeah, you know what? I could probably refit the rest of these. Let's refit them all. All right, there we go. Refitting all the boats. Yep, I can absolutely pull that off somehow. The wide tom is going to be a bit of a trick to refit because it's a big boy. And yes... But so my idea is to find, aggravate, and absolutely shellac anybody I can. But as soon as I go to war again, I'm going to design and build a series of battleships with my war money. Excellent. The world is going to shit, and I am playing my part. I have my whittle bitty boats, and I have everything I need. Let's do this again. War erupted between Germany and Japan. Germany and the Spanish Empire. Man, they are really just fighting everybody. Those sons of bitches are really going at it. Also, I just developed marine diesels. So here goes really bad ideas fairly quickly here. Let's see, hull strengthening. What am I gonna... Oh, large battle... Ooh, super battleship. We'll get there. I'm not gonna rush it. Don't worry. I'm not gonna rush it yet. I need a war. That's what I need. I need a war. I need to refit the wide tom. I need to put that into action. And we need to make that happen. Yes. Germany wants... No, I don't need an ally. I'm sorry, but you really were not nice to us at one point. I can't remember when. But no, we're going to be the prime German-speaking empire this time around. You guys, no thanks. We're gonna be a lot cooler than you, and that's gonna make them mad, but that's all right. It's Germany. All right, now is time to refit the wide tom, and then after that, I think it's time to go search for a fight. Let's go find somebody to, test our might against. I think I'm going to have to fight Italy. I don't like them in my way, and they're between me and France. While they're useful as a barrier between me and France, France is becoming ascendant, so much so that Britain has taken some territory near France just to keep an eye on them. That's why I'm pretending they attack there. But Italy also has a very large empire in Africa that's slowly getting gobbled up, and I think I could just push really hard on them and make them fall over. So let's get into the Wide Tom, which has never seen action and needs a refit already because it's a big boy, and it could be a bigger boy, and we could just make this a really fun boat. Now, I did go with guns that are a bit small for it because that's all I had at the time, but that's okay. You do your best. Ship is overweight. Yeah, it's Wide Tom. Of course he's overweight. Also, we got better guns now, so that goes without saying. Let's go ahead and take these off of it. There we go. Now, let's put the good crop armor on it. Let's put the advanced radio direction finder and the good sonar and the really good everything. Can we get even better? All right. We can get marine diesel. Now, this does make the engine weight go down, which is pretty cool. It does make it a bit more expensive, but I really don't care at this point. I need the speed and the weight to go down. So, yes, we're going to change it over to oil. Tom is no longer rolling coal. And then we're going to do, let's see, where's my enlarged barbettes? There we go. And now we're going to build the big guns. 16-inch triple mounts, 1 and 2. There we go. And 3 right there. And we have very limited weight to play with. So for our secondary guns, I'm going to go with 5-inch dual gun mounts because that was good enough for most navies. Good enough. I know it's not as cool as it was earlier, but that's all right. I think that this will be more than enough to hold off the enemy. No torpedoes this time around. I have a massive belt. I have everything I need to make this awesome. Let's just add some length to these guns here and make these turbo 5-inch gun mounts with all the velocity known to man. And then we will add some barbette to the 5-inch gun mounts so that they're not easily knocked out, and add a little bit more to the armor there. The 16-inch gun mounts, I mean, God, yeah, these will be very hard to penetrate. But yeah, that should be an all right boat. No, can't do that. And God, this is a global operations ship, which is cool. Secondary is just going to be pure incendiaries. I do not give a fuck. I'm going to burn people down. They're going to go, why? And I'll be like, because I can. Let's see. Foredeck, aft deck. Yeah, this thing is a monster. As it should be. There we go. Good enough. Save design. So, yeah, I basically built an Iowa. Got triple 16-inch gun houses on this thing. I've got everything I need. This thing's going to be good. And by good, I mean expensive. It probably will get singled out and exploded, like all large battleships do, but that's okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie dokie. Let's go ahead and refit the Wide Toms. How long? 8 months? Good Christ. What are you doing? Why? All you have to do is cut holes in the hull and other stuff. You're acting like you have to reinvent the goddamn wheel. All right, let's get into politics and see who hates us, because I haven't been paying attention to anything. Italy thinks we're all right. Britain does not. Spain is also not our friend. United States thinks we're all right, but you know what? I'm going to increase tension with Great Britain, and that way I can take Eastern Spain away from them, and I can then probably try to take some of their other possessions. I think that colonial possessions should be ours. Finally. Actually, I'm just going to try to take European ones. I want the Habsburgs to be from the Bay of Biscay all the way to the Pacific Ocean, so we can have one really long rail line. This will be pleasing. Oh no, France's budget. I'm just going to say our budget's too high. Put it into the GDP. I don't care. They're going to say, please don't do this, and I'll say, I don't care. All right, so Britain doesn't give a shit that I just threatened them at all. They're just like, whatever. I'll just try to suck up to France and keep bullying Britain. Because Italy is just like, I'm not having this fight. And I understand why. We're the terrifying neighbor that's slowly become a very wide nation. Our naval prestige is great. We have no unrest. Which for the Habsburg Empire is something that's never been true. Unrest is their normal state. If you had a country that had to personify anxiety, Austro-Hungarian Empire is pretty much up there. It's like 80 chihuahuas in a basket. That which isn't biting is barking. All right, let's see. Oh, France, could we defeat France? Yeah, let's just try to improve relations with France. You know, and also, what could I do? You know what? Give me some money. I'll take the money this time. Have a little bit of unrest for some money. Oh, Cameroon and Germany. Yeah, United States is taking it, but France loves us now. They think we're really cool. Not really. They're slightly miffed at us. I'm going to increase tension, though. I'm going to do my best to increase tension. And 6 months till the Wide Tom is ready. My research is coming along slowly. Very, very slowly. Because of my mismanagement earlier, which was rampant and inexcusable. That being said, our naval dockyards are really well done. Tension. Oh no. Soviet Union and Japan are fighting again. Greece wants boats. I'm sure they won't do bad things with them. Oh yeah. Okay, so Britain doesn't like us as much. Excellent. That's what we like seeing. We like seeing the wheels fall off the wagon here. I'm going to increase my relations with France. Japan wants to fight. I'll beat them to death. I don't care. I will be like, let's do this. We got marine diesel engines, so the Toms getting diesel engines is pretty cool. In fact, everything should be getting diesels. And the next time I overhaul those battle cruisers, they're getting diesels. And I will build Panzerschiff. And ooh, man, even better. I'll just put bigger and bigger and bigger fucking torpedoes on it. And people will be like, why have you done this? And I'll be like, because my job is to cause chaos, sow destruction, see my enemies driven before me, etc. Oh, cool. Britain has some submarines. I should probably build a few of those. At some point. I really don't care. Submarines are neat in this game, but they're not as decisive as they should be. They're fairly cheap to operate, which is neat. And they do a lot of damage. They do a lot of damage, but not all the damage. They tend to do attritional damage. So they have a chance of meeting and engaging and fucking up a lot of your convoys, and they also have a really strong chance of destroying and crippling capital ships. So if you build a whole capital fleet and don't have escorts, submarines are pretty much your bottleneck. Meanwhile, America is just building all sorts of shit over there. Louisiana class? Why? Tension. Yes. Oh, Soviet Union. I don't care. They're like, we love you. And I'm like, I don't care. Go away. Oh, yeah. Okay. In Italy's sucking up. They're like, hey, you not so bad. And I'm like, I can be worse. The only reason I don't invade you is because it would take too long to piss your government off and mine off to force us to fight. So, yeah, you're alive because of boredom. Let's see. I'm going to design a new ship. So you can build all sorts of stuff like modernized dreadnoughts and what have you. I like the idea of building a battlecruiser 2. That's interesting. Still has casemates, so not exactly what I want. Large armored cruiser, which still has casemates, not exactly what I want. Armored cruiser 5 still has casemates. Still has casemates. There's also fast armored cruiser. Oh my god. Look at this thing. I shouldn't. I won't. Don't worry. I know some people are going to start screaming, "Tex, so help me God if you do that." And I'll be like, don't worry about it. I'm a good boy. There's a lot of gross I could build. So what if I built a modern battleship, but I just made it as small as possible? Yeah, okay, there we go. It's only 51,000 tons. Modernized dreadnought. How small can I make those? Let's see. 64,000 tons. Okay. Battlecruiser 2. How small can I make these? 25,000 tons. All right. Let's do modern battleship then. And let's get it down to a reasonable size. And I'll say that 30 knots is my intended speed with maximum range. Turbines, no, we're going diesel. We're going to put all the fancy things on them. Not really, but kind of. We're going to go with oil-fueled stuff, and I'm going to make sure it can actually, like turn in the water, as opposed to some of my designs, which turning is optional. And then, yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, why would I build this? Because I can. Those of you who've been paying attention have already finished that sentence. I'm like, why would I build it? Because I can. All right. Let's do a little Nelson, shall we? Nelson class. Yeah. All right. Here we go. And then I need to move you up here. There we go. And then we're going to... There. Good enough. Excellent. So now we need to do a enlarged superimposed barbette for the front, and then we put main guns, and I'm just going to do micro Nelsons. 16-inch guns? Yes. Good enough. All right, so it does have a little bit of a 4-weight offset. I'll have to fix that slowly-ish. Don't worry too terribly much about it. There. 4-weight offset's not apocalyptic. Let's see. Let's do 5-inch guns, shall we? There we go. This? Yes. Some guns have poor sectors of fire. I think these are all reasonable sectors of fire. Seems like that's too much aft weight. Right there, remove those. Okay, what about that? Aft weight is 8.1%, so it's still... I mean, these are decent. Casemate guns, can't even fit them. What about little... like 3-inch gun mounts? Can I put them up on the superstructure? Not really. I could put some up front just to help balance it out a little bit. Not a lot. Okay. That's all right. We're gonna make this thing work. Are we gonna make it work well? No. Are we gonna make it work though? Maybe. All right. So 18-inch torps? No. There we go. Yep, that'll do. That'll do. I'll take these things off just to save a little bit of weight. What's badly placed now? What's freaking out? All right, don't worry. We'll get it to work. Maybe. Aft weight offset's a little high. What if we put them here? Aft weight offset is lower. Excellent. It says I have a port weight offset. Ah, I see. It kept one of my torpedo racks over here. Sometimes the game does this. It's okay. So I have torps in a place that when they explode, they'll punch a hole right through the deck, which is exactly what you want. And wow. Okay, the sonar is a bit too heavy. So let's just... Hydrophones? No? Or is that hydrophone equipment too nice? Is that what it is? Or are torpedoes too nice? Torpedoes are too nice. All right, yeah, it's not going to have sonar. I'm sorry, but no sonar. Not allowed. Okay, incendiary shells, cap ballistic shells. Some guns have a poor sector of fire. I disagree. I think the guns have a great sector of fire. I think they're living their best life. I think they're, living in their lane. They're doing the best they can. They're vibing, they're thriving. I don't think that they're in a bad place. Almost sonar one? Yes. All right, good enough. Yes. This will be all right as a boat. Is it going to be perfect as a boat? No. No, it won't. But as a modern battleship, this is reasonable. Is it great? The pitch is a little excessive, considering the weight offset, but who cares? Probably the people who serve on it, but I'm going to call this the L apostrophe austerity. Oh, actually, it's there. That'll mock the French. That's what I like. Let's mock the French a bit, shall we? And I will begin building a handful of these, just to more or less prowl the Mediterranean. That is their only job. I'm going to probably build 4 of them. They're not as big as the Wide Tom, they're not as crazy as the Wide Tom, but they should be reasonable enough to do what I need them to do. If you look at the Wide Tom, they're quite pricey, and that's fine, because I've got all of my boys lined up where I need them. So I'm probably going to build these in, I'll build 2 there, and I'll build 2 there. Novosibirsk and Ploti. Yep. Excellent. 41 months. Goddamn. All right. Let's do there. And let's build there. Poti, not Ploti. Boy, am I dumb. All right, let's go pick a war. Just a little bit of war, shall we? Let's see what happens. Come on, England. Come on, England. France is gobbling up all of Africa from Germany, and they've been trying to attack Germany on the continent, which, alarming, very alarming. But Britain is still a contender here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to have a war with Britain in 1931 and see what I can pull off, because I'm not sure what they have in the Pacific, but I'm going to take it from them. I think I could probably also take India and a few other places from them, and I'm fairly certain that I could create a headache. But the first thing I need to do is probably steam down to Australia and take that from them, just because I can. And Austro-Hungary and Australia sounds hilarious. Take Australia, take New Zealand, and I'm just going to slowly peel up their ability to have operations on a global scale. I think that's what you need to do when you have a navy that's irresponsibly large, or at least irresponsibly made and operated, which is definitely where ours would be on that chart of Maslow's hierarchy of mutually assured defense. I'm really wondering what the end game of this is going to look like, though. France is quite terrifyingly powerful. Spain has been knocked out a few times. China isn't a power for all intents and purposes. Japan has been neutered. So Russia has also been pretty heavily hit. Now they're the Soviet Union, which could make a resurgence, but I highly doubt it. Right now, I need to fight Britain. I need to find out what's going on, and I've bought enough time for my navy to be somewhat ready. Oh no, they want a war? Let's have a war. Yes, war. Never changes, except for when it does. All right, now let's go into our politics and finances now that we got our war budget. And let's make France our friend so that we can fight with a friend on our back. Okay, let's send a battle cruiser squadron to the east. And let's send the Wide Toms. They are still being refit, which is going to be a problem. I'm going to send my shooting boatin' over here to Gibraltar and see what they want to do about that. I'm then going to take the battlecruiser fleet I have up in battlecruiser land up here, And I'm going to just steam straight for Dutch New Guinea. Just gonna go down there. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take the Manila fleet and I'm gonna put it right out here at the Strait of Malacca and put those guys there. And good. We're just gonna be extremely belligerent. And I'm going to hope to find additional pals that I can use as my co-belligerents in this war. But I want to take Australia and that from Britain. I want to slowly peel up their possessions because I don't think I can contest them here on the continent. Not right away. I need to take away some of their manpower. I need to take away some of their money. It also looks like Russia grabbed Manchuria, which is interesting because beforehand they had that lease on Port Arthur, which is historical. So I think this is interesting. Korea just doing what it does. Just hanging out, vibing in its lane, doing as it does. I wonder if we can have a proper fight. One thing I will say about Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts is as the campaigns go on, the turns take longer. Oh, Germany would like to be our pal, but they want $1 billion to do it. So I'm going to say no. That's too much money. That is way too much money. Instead, I will use my diplomats, which I already pay a handsome salary to do the rest for me. I'm just going to be like, hey, diplomats, let's just go here. And yeah, I'm not going to pay a ally money to do what it does. Now, it looks like Britain is trying to invade with land force in my possessions of Borneo, which is not acceptable. So I'm going to move my guys here. And I'm going to try to do what we call an invasion. I'm going to try to take Borneo away from them, because fuck those guys. And I don't want Britain to have things, so that's what we're doing. I've got my battle cruisers here. I have everyone more or less positioned to fight like a mad bastard. And it looks like that we are definitely at shipbuilding capacity. I'm keeping the Habsburg in harbor until I need tonnage. The Wide Tom itself will be ready in 4 months. So once those things are done, I'm going to let those bastards loose. And we're just going to fight the shit out of the British. I think they're going to be awesome boats once they're done. They are huge. They take forever to refit. They are bastards. And now we have a meeting engagement. Splendid. Splendid. It is January 1932, and the Habsburgs will do battle. I am going to, however, counter-invade them in the Pacific, and I am going to take as much as I can from them. That's what this is about. Looks like Britain and the US are still duking it out. Britain and France are fighting. Britain and Japan are fighting. Looks like I'm going to sink some transports. And, oh, my battlecruiser squadron versus, that's a fairly modern battleship. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and sink a battleship just to start this off right. Let's start this war off real right. Let us have a battle. 8 battle cruisers, just tiny little guys, versus 1 long boy battleship. Boy, that thing's long. All right, here we go. Fido, good name. Now, these guys only have 9-inch guns, but what they do have are torpedoes. Now, are these great torpedoes? These are the older ones. These are 18-inch torpedoes, but they have a 12-kilometer range. And I got a 30-knot speed. I can do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do line ahead. We're going to do HE only, and we're just going to be aggressive as shit. Now, once I get into range with them, it's on. All right, let's do this. Here we go, boys. There's the enemy battleship. All right, let's close range at 30 knots. Yeah. These things are as tall as they are long. Holy shit. All right. Let's get in range because he definitely outranges us and I don't like it. Looks like he's already taken some damage from unknown means. Then again, Britain's been fighting everybody, so that doesn't surprise me. Quit shooting at me, you asshole. These boats are expensive. So my main guns only have a range of, looks like the AP is 14 kilometers. I need to close, yeah, there we go. We need to close a bit. He ricocheted on me. Excellent. Go get fucked. Here we go. Yep. Shoot at me all you like. Dare you shoot me? Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his memes? Oh boy. All right, partial pin. Excellent. Excellent. A little bit of damage, but not a lot. He does have big boy guns on there. My guys are not convinced. They're like, is this a heavy cruiser? And I'm like, no. No, it's not. They're trying to figure it out. They got the Jane's Guide open. They're flipping through pages. Rounds bouncing off stuff. Battleship, maybe? Yes. Yes, it is. We're going to close range. I'm going to do what I can to just eat these guys alive. Oh boy, there goes a giant torpedo spread, which is probably going to be way off at range, but that's fine. He's doing 14.2-inch guns and numerous secondaries. I'm hoping my guys continue to launch torps as we go in, because that would be cool to get some hits at range. Looks like one of my torps just exploded there, and that happens. So we're just going to keep shooting, keep trying to set this guy on fire, because torps are probably what kills the man. We're just going to hope to set him on fire many times. That ship has a crew of 2,300 people. Holy shit, what a big boat. Now he's shooting back at ships that have 600-man crews, so the risk to loss here is pretty much in my favor. I can lose numerous of these guys. Ooh! Okay, that's not good. Gentlemen, you may fire whatever you want, but secondaries must fire HE. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pin this guy with just 9-inch guns, but I'm going to get close. I'm going to do the damage. Alright, another torpedo spread going out. He has 13 fires on board. Now, he is managing to put rounds through my battle cruisers, which is fine. However, he's having to play a game called Torpedo Beats, and he's doing alright on them. Ooh, that's another bad series of hits. He has 20 fires on board. Now, my guys are just going to continue dropping torps on him. We're just going to keep doing it. Because I have pretty okay damage control. I have as good damage control as I have bad maneuvering. Those fires will spread. He has 26 fires on board. You know what? Switch back to all HE. I think that's funnier. "32 fires on board. He's like, why? Why is this happening? Oh shit, he got some rounds through. That's bad. No like. However, another torpedo spread out as the rest of my boats just keep speeding on in. Multiple spreads out. Yeah, he got hit by 4. Okay, we got fog that just rolled in. So the British used their secret ingredient, shitty weather. I lost 1 battle cruiser, the Jupiter. I lost 2. He just broke that one's back. That's fine. That's more than fine. Because he's going down. He's like, why? It's okay. Man, that guy is sinking and still moving fast. That's pretty awesome. Now, these ships are not designed to fight battleships, but they can. More torpedoes. Excellent. Excellent. Now, I did take some losses, and that's fine. That's more than fine, actually. Because this is a victory for me, and I'm going to continue to do this. Once the wide toms come into operational use, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be A-okay. Once the wide toms come out, they'll be great. My battle cruisers are more or less attritional. They will destroy anything smaller than them fairly quickly. Larger ships will be a struggle, but that's alright. Now, let's go ahead and look at the board, which we didn't do before the war, which is my bad. That's a my B. But they have 7 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser. They have 6 submarines and 2 destroyers. So their navy is largely big boat, and that's fine. I just sank one of them. They cannot continue this, and that's fine. What I need to do is I need to now take these guys over here, and I'm going to take Cyprus from them. I'm going to remove them from having a coaling station. That is what I want. I'm also going to go into a naval invasion. I'm going to say, you know what? I would like to take Dutch and New Guinea from you, and I think that would be funny. Now, I'm going to go over here and look at what they're doing in Borneo, because that could be a problem. And I would really like to take Brunei from them, because that has a lot of oil under it, and that's important to me. Once I take Dutch and New Guinea, I'll take Port Moresby, and then I'll start taking Australia. And they're not going to like it. They're not going to like it at all. Once the wide toms are done, however, in 3 months, I'm going to send those off of the English coast and just start punching them in the mouth. I'm going to start shelling them and being like, all right, come out here and fight me. Fight me like a man. Fight me like the belligerent person I am. And they're going to go, oh, please don't do that. I'll be like, oh, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bite and fight and be absolutely crazy. I'm going to be nuts. Okay, Japan might want to fight me. Cool, bring it. I'm going to sink more transports for Britain. Crew salvage program 4. Yep, Improved triple turrets. Good, good, good. Okay, 17-inch guns. That's nice. Italy and Britain are fighting each other. And we're doing what we do. So we've mobilized our army, and it looks like we have a 92% chance of taking Dutch and New Guinea. Then from there I can take Port Moresby. I don't have the tonnage in place to be able to take anything here, which sucks. So my battlecruiser fleet is going to have to be ready for that, which is going to be a complex issue, but not an impossible one. Like I said, as soon as these wide toms are ready, I'm going to send them into the enemy's territory, and I'm going to say, knock, knock, and they will say, who's there? And I'm going to say, violence. France is invading Britain's territory here in eastern Spain, which is hilarious. War erupted between Britain and the United States. Also hilarious. I'm beating the shit out of the British as they sit off of... looks like they can't get past Gibraltar because of my fleet, which is great. Fuck them. All right, now let's get into what we're going to invade. I would like to take Cyprus as well. I'm just going to go ahead and take Cyprus from them, because once I get Cyprus, I'll be able to probably... I don't want those territories, because they're just surrounded by too many goofballs, and that will end up being unpleasant. What I might do, however, is come down here and take these fellas, and then I might try to slowly move into taking India from them, possibly. What I need to really concentrate on, though, is absolutely breaking their legs here. This stuff, breaking their hold on the Eastern Pacific, destroying their ability to draw supply from it, is going to be very necessary for me. I can slowly remove their ability to be a global navy. I can prevent them from having a global naval presence. Okay, it looks like my battleships are ready, which means I need to put my money where my mouth is, and that means I need to put the wide tom off of the English coast. I might take Ireland. I might just go take it and be like, give me the Irish. The Austro-Hungarian Irish cuisine will be interesting. Both populations love potatoes. That could be fine. I can only imagine how that would play out politically, but, you know, close enough. So let's take, Supplingberg and Wide Tom. We're just going to go put them off Cork, Ireland. There we go. We're just going to go ahead and tell them to head on out. And it looks like we can't get past Gibraltar because the British are being weird. And that's fine. 95% chance and a 77% chance. Both adequate. And once I do this and take these territories from them, I'm going to again remove their ability to conduct a global war. That is the important process of this. Prevent the enemy from coaling, prevent them from resupplying, and make sure that they are just always out of fucking fuel. Also, it looks like the United States is beating the shit out of Britain. So Britain may actually not be able to contest me all that much, which means it's free real estate. Let's see. No, I'm not going to pay the Soviet Union money. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not going to do that. So here's their Eastern Fleet. They have 3 battleships, which are quite large. I'm going to withdraw and not let them beat my ships up while I continue to do my Navy thing, because I do not want them to be able to fight me. Not fairly, at least. I'm also going to bring my destroyers over here, because they are over there and trying to engage me, and that's fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to intercept them with my destroyers. I do not want them to disrupt my naval operations. I'm going to move a bit closer to shore here. And let's see, Cyprus could fall to me next turn, which looks like that's likely, but you don't know if that's going to actually happen. I also have the 2 battleships running at high speed. They're going to have to go all the way around Africa because Gibraltar is a little bit fucky-wucky, and that's okay. As soon as the French take southern Spain, which they might, Gibraltar is going to be a lot more difficult for them to hold. And I might just invade Gibraltar just to drop the elbow on them. I might just do that just to have fun. I might just take that from them so I can lock down that part of the Med, which will be great. Gibraltar is a wonderful strategic objective, and if you can take it away from the Royal Navy, you've done good. Okay, looks like everyone else likes us. They want us to sign a peace treaty. No. I will not do that. I instead will do nasty things. It looks like I could... Yeah, alright, I'll fight this. I'll destroy another battleship if I can. If not, I will cripple it. However, this is likely to cost me my chances at invading effectively in the Pacific. They're trying to beat me up, but this looks like the Pacific Squadron. And yep, it's another one of them long boys. So what we have to do is we're going to have to be very careful. It says that they are in the north, and my radio direction finders and sonar have a really good bearing on them right now. So I'm going to let them shoot whatever they think is necessary. I'm just going to tell them to shoot like crazy, and I'm going to put as many torpedoes in the water as possible. I'm going to try to get nose on with them as best I can. Hope maybe some of my plunging fire gets lucky, and I doubt it will, but if it does, that'll be nice. Now he's got accurate guns, which is making this a little bit more difficult. Keep swinging. Oh, he took enough flooding to bail out and start changing direction. He's like, nope. I'll be back once I pump the water out. If he does. That being said, that's a really nice wide spread. I'm not sure if they'll hit the target, but they'll at least make him turn. And if I can do damage at all to him with my squadron, I can keep him from doing too much to me in the Pacific. I'm pretty sure my destroyers could get him, though. The destroyers are a lot harder to hit, and they will be laying smoke as they roll in. These guys are laying smoke of a different kind, but it's not as cool. Alright, I've laid out the torps on that side. King Edward VII. Alright, that's a bad hit. Yeah, he's going to have to dodge a lot of torpedo attacks here. And he's got a fairly decent battleship there. That's got a reasonable speed. That is a reasonable speed for a battleship of this era. He's having to cut his rudder left and right to just avoid torpedoes, which is exactly what I want. I'm going to cut my rudder left to right to launch all my torpedoes, which is exactly what I want. Oh, he fired a torpedo. That's neat. That's a fast one. Look at that guy. That one is just cutting a rug. Like I said, all I need to do... Oh, wow. I'm gonna do my best. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Keep making owies. Oh, God. That's owies on me. That's not what I wanted. Oh, that's rough. His fancy battleships might have this. However, his heavy cruisers require more people than my battleships do. Well, battle cruisers, I should say. Now, this is going to be a nasty defeat for me, I feel. And that's okay. I'm getting a good look at what he brings ship-wise. And that's what I need. Now, it looks like he has a lot of older ships. Specifically, this heavy cruiser does look like a much older design. It has been refit. I sympathize. I hit him with 4 torps. He is still floating, so he has spent his technology investments very well. Now, he's going to probably sink regardless, but still. There he goes. All right. His battleships have a really good maintained top speed. 24 knots, so these are almost like standard battleships. And just looking at them, 14.2-inch guns, reasonable. Numerous secondaries, which is where he's cleaning up, naturally. Way too many barbettes, but goddamn, it's not a bad battleship. It's not a bad battleship at all. And he's certainly cleaning the clock of my dudes. So, unless I can fight to disengage, I think he's going to win this one. And I think he is, so I'm going to try to see what my guys can do regarding just putting distance between us, because he has not gotten close enough to where my guys can conveniently torp him to death and get him to fuck off. And his gunnery is exceptionally accurate. He has a very trained crew, and mine are trained as well, but he is landing the sheer bulk of his shots, and his rate of fire is horrendous. So I might be able to escape with one of my battlecruisers of this 4-unit squadron. But I'm going to fight to disengage, and I'm going to continue to build battleships, because that seems to be where the money is. I can also retire my battlecruisers as I don't need them, or just build enormously much larger ones. The secret to this, I suppose, is building a wide tom block too, which is even larger. The question is he going to let me leave? I highly doubt it, because he is just continuing to throw lead at me. And while I have inflicted some losses on that ship, it is largely non-existent. The 9-inch guns I have on this are just completely unable to do anything to him, even with incendiary ammunition. He is just leaving and maintaining a distance that he likes, which is fine. That's what you do with speed. You maintain distance to the enemy in your perfect shooting box, and you keep them there. So he is definitely leaving, looks like. Yeah. And we're going to pull out. It is a defeat for me because he sank 2 of my guys and I only sank 1. Now, the losses in crew are a lot closer, but in terms of actual strategic tonnage in the water, very different. And I think that's a good place to end this episode. We'll leave it on a cliffhanger. What happens next? At any rate, I'll see you guys next time, man. Be safe.
Some folks are born, made to wave the flag. Ooh, the red, white, and green. And when the band plays Kaiser hymn, ooh, they draft you for the war machine. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't Prince Ferdinand's son. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no aristocratic one, no. Some folks are born with 6 fingers on their hand. Lord, don't they make their cousins mad. But when their army parades across the land, Lord, it sounds like the yards of Babel, yeah. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no Habsburg son, no. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no Kaiserin son, no. Oh, sorry, I don't speak German. I don't understand. Oh, that's Hungarian? No. Some folks inherit medieval powers here. Ooh, they send you down to war, Lord. And when you ask them, hey, what was that you said? Ooh, they only answer, Vilmer, man. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no Hungarian son, Lord. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't Prince Ferdinand's son, Lord. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no Kaiser's son, no, no. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no Habsburgian one, no.